Joining us now for reaction to all of this is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Mr. Secretary, great to have you back. This is interesting. So Mayor Pete, he claims basically that he inherited a mess, fixed it, and now you've made a mess again. How do you respond to that?
So first off, let's review the record to add on to $80 billion for DEI and climate change. During his administration, there were 85 near misses in the Potomac before the DCA air crash, and they did nothing to stop fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters from crossing paths, and we had a disaster. He lowered the standards of trainees at the FAA. Again, not smart. And then he focused on pronouns within the FAA. You know, a cockpit can't be called a cockpit, it should be called a flight deck. He wanted people to be called aeronauts instead of airmen. I mean, the list went on of stupid things that Pete Buttigieg did. By the way, the contract he's talking about, it's true, hasn't started, right? So he spent this money for 4 years, nothing's happened. So we are moving at lightning speed to bring in more air traffic controllers to fix what he left off for us. And we, for the first time in a very long time, are spending billions of dollars to upgrade the system that he didn't pay attention to. Again, it was breaking, it's brittle, and now we're gonna replace the telecom. We're gonna buy new radios, new radar, new voice switches. And by the way, I need more money from Congress to finish the rest of it. But real work done on the airspace that this guy completely ignored because he never showed up for work.
Yeah, and you need, what, $31.5 billion, but this is something that should have been done long time ago. Just quickly, how old is the current air traffic control system? Just quickly, because I want to get to something else.
It depends. Radar is, from the 60s, 70s. We're using copper wires, but you use in the 80s to make your dial-up telephone call. Right. But a lot of it is, 80s and 90s. We need brand new equipment to build a brand new system. And you know what's beautiful is President Trump has said, you know what? I am all behind this. I want the Congress to give the money. And we are moving as safely as we can, but also with lightning speed. Okay, good to hear. Again, this is the big one right now. We're at something like 20,000 flight delays and cancellations over the last week. Thanksgiving is 2 weeks from tomorrow. How long does it realistically take airlines to get back to normal operation? So last weekend we had, a significant number of cancellations and delays. We had 81 staffing triggers on Saturday alone. On Monday we had 53 staffing triggers. So it's created chaos in the airspace. So people who flew those days know how bad it was, but it is starting to get better. And once we're fully open, air traffic controllers are going to be paid 70% of their back pay within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. I think then it starts to improve. It's going to get better, and it's going to take us probably up to a week to get back to normal, which is right before significant Thanksgiving travel.
And you've got kids that have got to get home for Thanksgiving. 2 weeks from tomorrow, this is going to be a big deal if people can't get where they want to go. The president has mentioned a $10,000 bonus for these air traffic controllers that never called out sick during the shutdown. Do you see that happening?
100%. This move was brilliant by the president. And if we had air traffic controllers who never missed a scheduled day of work during the shutdown, they should be rewarded. They're patriots. As others were taking breaks or sick leave, and by the way, I don't blame some of them. A lot of them didn't have enough money in their coffers to pay for food and gas and childcare. All the expenses of life. I can't blame them, but for those who did come, let's give them a $10,000 reward. I love the president brought that up, and we are going to make it happen. We're going to use the resources, find the resources to reward those great controllers.
Soon, like before Christmas?
Oh, yeah, we have to find out who they are, and we will move that money very quickly.
So, Mr. Secretary, you are still the acting NASA administrator, and we have followed this comet on this show, Finnerty, for months. 3I Atlas, it's in our solar system right now. NASA is still refusing to release photos that were taken from the high-rise camera on the Mars rover back on October the 2nd. The comet, of this comet, and on the website it says, this is a quote, so any images of the interstellar comet 3I Atlas are considered NASA-wide news because the government is in a shutdown. Communications of NASA news have been suspended, but that's not true. They're publishing other images from this same high-rise camera on Mars every day. They did it yesterday. They did it today. Why isn't NASA releasing these images?
So again, with this Comet, I think there's a little more complication in getting and processing the photos where with the photos you referenced, it can be automated and you can get those pictures up and out right away. There's more man hours that are needed for the pictures from the Comet. But I will tell you this, we are days away from NASA getting full staffed again, getting our workers back into the office and getting pictures out to the American people. But NASA has, and again, the experts at NASA have said, this is a comet. It walks like a comet, talks like a comet, struts like a comet. It's a comet. I know some people have said, listen, there's alien life on here, or that at one point they said it was going to hit the Earth. Not true, but it is a fascinating comet, and we want to get those pictures out. And again, a couple days away from making that happen.
Okay, we asked this Harvard astrophysicist, Avi Loeb, who's been the lead on this for months, about something that you tweeted involving Kim Kardashian last week. Take a look. Sean Duffy just posted this in response to Kim Kardashian, of all people, saying no aliens, no threat to life here on Earth. Dr. Loeb, can we say definitively now that this thing has come out from the other side of the sun, that this is not alien technology? Can you say that tonight?
No, we need more data. We need to observe it. That's the way science is done. We should stay curious.
Mr. Secretary, your reaction to that, he says it's too early to confirm that this thing is not alien or intelligent in some way.
Yeah, so...
And you know why I'm asking?
Data.
It just seems suspicious that NASA's releasing other photos, but not the photos of this thing.
Listen, no scandal here. Again, Dr. Loeb doesn't have all the data. When we release it, we'll show you all of the analysis. Can I make one point on Kim Kardashian?
Please.
I responded to her because she has a huge following. And our mission to the moon, Artemis 2, is going to happen in February of this year. And then we're going to go back and actually land on the moon in a year and a half after. We've started a space race between Blue Origin and SpaceX. Again, they're racing against each other. It's fantastic. We are going to beat the Chinese back to the moon. It's exciting. And if you can get culture involved in space and in NASA, it's only good for the American people and only good for this next generation of missions that we're going to do. First to the moon, then to Mars, and then, to beyond.
Yes, and Mr. Secretary, you've been in this business, my side of the camera, for a long time. That we might call that a pivot in the business, right there. We might say that was a pivot. There's no
that was not a
conspiracy
pivot. That was
theory
actually.
here? There's no conspiracy?
You mentioned Kim Kardashian, so I wanted to clarify that. No, there's no conspiracy theory.
You did. All right. Mr. Secretary, we really appreciate your
time.
time.
But I'm telling you, there's not a conspiracy theory. Listen, by the way, I would come on your show first. If I'm like, oh, God, right, I can't wait to show this to you, you're going to be shocked. I would tell you that.
Okay. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, we appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.